We'd like to welcome somebody else to the stage. You've noticed we're still filming all this for the website and YouTube and general fame and fortune. We have Paul Caffrey, the ex-Dublin manager. If Paul would like to join us on our stage place in front of our big Roscommon banner. How are you?
How's it going?
Lovely to meet you. Thanks very much for coming in tonight. We'd like to give him a round of applause, first of all, to thank you for being here. And second of all, have you an anniversary night tonight? Is that you?
No, not me. Maybe me wife, but not me. And why I'm here is when you've come across fellas like John Newton and Davy O'Connor and they ring you up, it's hard to say no. Yeah. So the first thing I'd like to say is, look, a big congratulations to Brigid's. I think for any that are involved in club football, I was at the Club All-Ireland final, and I would say it probably ranks as the greatest Club All-Ireland final ever. Of course I was cheering for Ballymun Kickham's. Keiki, you listening, are you? Yeah. But no, like, I was lucky enough to manage my own club in the Fianna to an All-Ireland final in the year 2000. It's one of the greatest occasions in any club player's life, and to see Brigid's, having been bet in the semi-final last year, come back and do it in such style was phenomenal. And I think, you know, any of us that love the GA will always remember the face of the cake. Yeah, pretty special. And I see Desi Dolan hasn't surfaced. He's probably still wiping his lips.
Well, we're absolutely delighted that you're here tonight, and thank you from all of us to you. But I'd love to know, how was your experience of managing the Dublin team, and sort of bearing in mind you've got hungry Roscommon minds here, eager to sort of latch on to anything we can.
Well, I'm looking down and I see Paul early there smiling, and I remember he took over as interim manager of Roscommon in Parnell Park when we were playing in the National League, and he was all smiles before the game and came over and said hello to me and all that. And I says, Paul, I hope you're not taking this on a short-term basis, because this whole National League is hard going. And he said, oh no, Pillar, I'm in for the long haul. So we went out and played them in the National League, and we gave them a bit of a clipping or whatever, and we shook hands afterwards. But no, look, it's tough going. You know, any of the teams, it's a huge commitment. You know, there's some great people around the room here who've, you know, I would say that the real enjoyment in intercounty football is playing. After that, some of us still have a passion to get involved in coaching or being in management teams or whatever, and it's fantastic, but it ain't the same as playing. So for those fellas like Cake and that are still playing, I'd say there's another 10 years left, and I'm looking on now here tonight.
What's a real highlight for you as a coach? I mean, obviously winning is one thing, but are there any sort of personal victories that you see along the way that you really clock them up and go, that is amazing?
Well, I'm going to get very personal about it now, Ruth. I have 3 boys, and I always said, look, fantastic achievement to be in Croke Park and win Leinster titles and be there on big days. I was there in 2 All-Ireland semi-finals on the sideline. But for me, the real achievement is I have 3 lads that play Gaelic football. They actually love the game. They're still involved. They're 18, 20 and 22. You know, they played championship football for the clubs this week in the Fianna. And for myself and my wife, that's our real achievement, that we've given the love of the GA to the next generation, and hopefully I would hope that they will pass it on to the generation after them. It's a fantastic game, the GA, and if you think what the football championship has at the moment, 6 different teams have won the last 6 All-Irelands. There's no sport in the world that has that going for them. If you look at the hurling this year, I think if you gave everyone a free bet in the room tonight, everyone would put it on Kilkenny or Tipperary. You know, where the All-Ireland Football Championship, there's at least 8 teams that can win it this year. And I think that's the beauty about the Football Championship. You know, there's something in it for everybody.
So bearing in mind the coach side of you, the family side of you, what kind of advice do you give to players? And maybe then what would you suggest, or what would be your ultimate how to be a top-notch manager advice?
Well, look, players, everybody has to believe in a dream. And Brigid's emphasised that, you know what I mean, like in terms of where they're coming from. Like if you said to the Brigid's players 4 or 5 years ago, there is a chance you going to Croke Park on Paddy's Day winning All-Ireland, you know, most of them would have sort of said, yeah, we'll take it. But to actually go and deliver that product and enjoy it, you know, for a small parish to come and do that, it's just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And that's the draw of the championship. In terms of coaching and managing, you know, only so many teams that win the All-Ireland. I'd say there's probably 7 teams in the race this year. But for a team to win one championship game sometimes can be huge. For a team to aim to win a provincial title can be massive. And that's there for a lot of counties this year.
Have you noticed, sort of over the years, how has the game changed, particularly in sort of your observations?
Well, I suppose tactically it's changed quite a bit. I wouldn't be a fan of the blanket defence. I love going watching Gaelic football where 6 forwards line up and 6 backs. That's just from a spectator's point of view. But I think, it has changed quite. Number 10 and 12 positions, Brian Dewar has a lot to answer for. It has changed hugely in terms of most teams now are coaching their 10 and 12 to go back and be wing half backs. And most teams are playing with 4 maximum forwards. But I think, it's all about what's going to happen in the next game. You take Dublin, and I know Paul Mannion's father is here tonight. The excitement in terms of watching Dublin this year has been phenomenal. Young Jack McCaffrey playing wing half back, playing with an abandonment of not minding his own position but going forward and taking risks. Paul Mannion the same at corner forward. Like, I watched Roscommon 21s in the All-Ireland final last year, and it was only a kick of the ball. It was one of the best 21 All-Ireland finals I ever seen. So in that respect, teams aren't that far away from achieving big stuff. And I think, players, coaches, management teams, they have to believe in what they're doing.
Okay, we'll finish on this then, because you mentioned moving forward. Your ex-Dublin manager, will you tell us what it is you're up to now and what you see yourself doing maybe in the next sort of 10, 20, 40, 50 years?
Well, I have a full bottle of Crown on the counter. I'm hoping John Newton's going to be buying me another one. My wife Yvonne is over there. She told me there's a leak in a roof at home tonight, and I says, fuck the leak. We're staying out for a while. So, no, look, I'm still involved in my own club in the Fianna. I'm back looking after teams. I took the 21 team, and we were lucky enough to win the championship this year. I'm overseeing the minors coming out. We have a lot of minor teams in the Fianna. We field 3 teams a year, so I'm still heavily involved. And as they say in the GA, there's always room for a good volunteer.
Brilliant. So no rest for you. Paul Caffrey, thank you so much for chatting to us this evening. Give him a round of applause.